Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too.
All right, welcome in. Today, I want to talk about why 3 workouts is plenty to achieve all the goals you hope to. And it's probably a lot less time consuming than it sounds too. 3 workouts, we immediately think, we got to drive to the gym. We got to get our warm up in. We got to get our hour-long workout in. Got to cool down, maybe get some cardio in, and then head home. And by the time that's all done, it's 2 hours. And if you're gone at work all day, the last thing you want to do is be gone another 2 hours away from your family. But the majority of my clients all do 3 strength training workouts every week, and they're only 30 minutes long. You can make a ton of progress by focusing on some of the core movements here. Now, could you make more progress depending on your goals if you put more time in? Sure. But we have to balance out of what we actually want here. Are you training to be a bodybuilder? Are you training to be a power lifter? Are you training for a marathon? If the answer to any of those questions is yes, then this probably isn't for you. But if you're training to feel better, if you're training to look a little better, you're training to get stronger, you're training to have more energy, then this absolutely is enough volume to achieve all of that, right? If you are a competitive bodybuilder or a physique athlete where your body is pretty much your business card, then you probably need to put a little bit more time. It takes a lot more dedication. But you can get in incredible shape. You can get in the best shape of your life while only training 3 days a week. And the reason why 3 is such a magical number is because if I ask you to work out 5 or 6 days a week, you could probably do it for a couple of weeks. Something's going to come up though, right? Maybe one of your kids gets sick. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you have a meeting. Maybe you have, somebody, you have this big quarterly meeting at the office, and then you go out to eat with somebody afterwards. And all of a sudden your time gets thrown off here. And now you're having to debate whether you go in the backyard and play catch with your kids or get your workout in. So those are tough decisions here. And then if you're doing 5 or 6 every single week, if you miss one, now there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of added stress onto when are you going to make it up? We can push it to tomorrow. That's fine. But what if it happens again, right? Now we can't miss a day. Now everything has to go perfect. And it just creates unnecessary stress for the life you're living. But if we can do 3 strength training workouts a week, we can improve on the key lifts, we can get stronger, we can start to feel better, and then there's some flexibility too. If you're working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you have to push it from Monday to Tuesday, no big deal. If you're doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and you missed the Thursday's workout, you could do Friday, Saturday. You could potentially move it to early Sunday morning, before your family's up. There's lots of options there. And so the reason I don't like bringing it down to 2 strength training workouts a week, even if you could do 2 hour-long workouts a week, I would much rather you do 3 30-minute workouts a week. And the reason is because if we're only doing something once or twice a week, it makes it very difficult to become a habit, especially at first. And so if you're working out 3 times a week, we know every Monday at this time I'm working out. Every Wednesday at this time I'm working out. Every Saturday morning before the kids get up at this time I'm working out. But if you're only working out twice a week, let's say you work out Saturday and Wednesday. Saturday, one of your kids has a soccer tournament, and so you miss that workout. Well, now we're waiting until Wednesday. But on Wednesday, your wife had a meeting, or your wife had maybe an old college roommate in town or something. You guys went out to dinner with them. Now you've missed both your workouts here. Now we've gone an entire week without working out, and you've actually probably gone a week and a half because your last workout was the Wednesday before. And so we try and get, especially with my clients, the way I structure my coaching and programming is that we try and get 3 workouts in a week. Now, some weeks you're only going to get 2 in, some weeks you're only going to get 1 in. Occasionally it may happen where you can't get any in, and that's okay. But 3 workouts is the goal here. That's going to be the standard here. 3 30-minute workouts. Think of it as like 3 Netflix episodes. You watch a Netflix episode, you have time for a workout. And after a while, you think to yourself, 30 minutes, is that really enough to make progress? Well, imagine you're learning to play the guitar. And you say, I don't really have enough time right now to work out. Or sorry, I don't have enough time right now to play the guitar. But I think I can commit to 30 minutes about 3 times a week. Is that enough to make progress? So that's 90 minutes a week. In a month, you've played 6 hours of the guitar. Over the course of a year, that's 72 hours. Do you think you would get better at the guitar? Absolutely. Of course you would. You would get way better at the guitar by putting in just 90 minutes a week, 30 minutes 3 times a week. Same thing goes for your workouts, right? You're going to get stronger. You're going to get better at it. And you may actually start to enjoy it, right? That's one of the things where if you've never worked out before, if you've never, like, let's say, I always kind of think of like going to a hotel. The first night, every time I go out of town at a conference, I sleep terribly. I'm in a new environment. I don't sleep very well. By night 2, it's a little better. I'm used to the environment. Night 3, or if I'm there a 4th night, I sleep great because I'm used to it, right? And the same thing kind of goes for doing something new. You get up in the morning, you get a workout in, it's going to feel uncomfortable. You've never done that before. Your body's really not sure how to respond to it because it's new. But you do it a second time, okay, you start to get into a rhythm. You do it a third time, hey, this starts to be who I am now. And that's ultimately where you want to be. You want to create the identity. You want to become the person who works out regularly, right? Not who just does it for a short period of time. And so that's why the number 3 is kind of the magic number here. It's enough to make progress. It's enough where you can still see results without consuming your life. It doesn't overtake things, but it allows you to start to see yourself as somebody who works out regularly. And so if you can commit to the next, 6 months of just working out 3 30-minute time slots a week, I promise you're going to start seeing incredible results. You're going to start getting addicted to that feeling. You're going to want to keep showing up more, and you're going to be well on your way to getting to where you want to be.
That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.